Good morning everybody. So in our last video we have studied about the transcription process in case of prokaryotes, and now we will study about the transcription in eukaryotes. Though the process of transcription in prokaryotes and eukaryotes are similar, but there occurs two complexities in case of eukaryotic transcription process. The first complexity is the presence of three different types of RNA polymerase in eukaryotes, in addition to the RNA polymerase that is present in the organelles. So, because the eukaryotes have three different types of RNA polymerase, and each of these RNA polymerase it transcribes the different type of RNA. For example, the first RNA polymerase or the RNA polymerase first, in case of eukaryotes, it transcribes the rRNA. It transcribes the rRNA. Now, the second RNA polymerase, that is RNA polymerase second enzyme, transcribes mRNA and the hnRNA. So RNA polymerase second, it transcribes the mRNA and hnRNA. The hnRNA is heterogeneous nuclear RNA. Now the third RNA polymerase enzyme, that is RNA polymerase third, transcribes tRNA. Along with this tRNA, that is transfer RNA, this RNA polymerase third, it also transcribes the snRNA, that is small nuclear RNA, and srRNA, that is small ribosomal RNA. So in case of eukaryotic transcription, we have two complexities. That is, the first one is the presence of three different types of RNA polymerase, and in this case the three different types of RNA polymerase, they transcribes the different types of RNAs. As such, RNA polymerase first, it transcribes the rRNA, that is ribosomal RNA. The RNA polymerase second, it transcribes the mRNA, that is messenger RNA, and hnRNA, that is heterogeneous nuclear RNA. And RNA polymerase third, it transcribes the tRNA, that is transfer RNA, the snRNA, that is small nuclear RNA, and the srRNA, that is small ribosomal RNA. Now, so this is the first complexity. The second complexity in case of eukaryotic transcription is that the RNA that got transcribed from the template DNA, it contains two regions, that is introns and exons. The introns are non-coding regions, whereas the exons are coding regions. So introns must be removed from the RNA strand. That's why this RNA which is synthesized on the template DNA, it undergoes the splicing process, and during splicing the introns are removed from RNA and the exons are joined in a sequence order. For example, if we are having a RNA molecule which is synthesized on DNA template, let it be 5' to 3'. So this contains the exon part followed by the intron, which is a non-coding region, again followed by exon part, again it is intron, and again exon, and then intron. So this is the mRNA, we can say, which is transcribed or which is formed during transcription process on template DNA strand, which contains both regions, exons and introns. And these introns are non-coding regions. That's why we need to remove these introns. That's why this RNA transcribed on template DNA, it undergoes the process of splicing. So the splicing process occurs, which results in removal of these introns and it then joins the exons in a sequence order. Sequence order means if we say this is exon number first, this is exon number second, and this is exon number third. Okay? So this splicing process, it removes the introns from this RNA and joins the exons in a sequence order. So these introns are removed and these exons are joined in the same sequence, that is exon first, again exon second, and exon third. So in the same sequence these exons are joined and now we can say that the splicing process have occurred, the introns have been removed and the exons are joined in the same sequence. Now this mRNA is ready for the translation process and it moves into the ribosome. So these are the two complexities in case of the transcription in eukaryotes. Now one more thing, during splicing process when these introns are removed and exons are joined, these exons are joined to each other with the help of ligase enzyme. Now this hnRNA, it also undergoes two more processes, that is the capping and the tailing process. So during capping process a methyl guanosine triphosphate cap is added to hnRNA at 5' end. So at 5' end of hnRNA during capping process a methyl guanosine triphosphate cap gets added, and during tailing process adenylate residues containing near about 200 to 300 adenine nitrogenous bases are added at 3' end of hnRNA. So during tailing, adenylate residues having 200 to 300 adenine molecules or nitrogenous bases gets added at 3' end. So this methyl guanosine triphosphate, it is a cap that is added at the 5' end during capping process, and during tailing process the adenine residues, that is near about 200 to 300 adenine residues gets added at 3' end of the hnRNA, and now this hnRNA becomes the mRNA. So this processed hnRNA is known as mRNA, which now moves from nucleus into the cytoplasm and it is now ready for the translation process. Thank you.